Practice, as the old saying goes, makes perfect. But in the case of Jeff Hughes, practice makes a maestro. He may be the most renowned violinist in Colorado. And if you think that gives you a pretty good picture of what this young man is all about, you may need to think again.
You know, I describe myself as an electronic violinist. I just want to be able to express myself at any given time in any genre. Jazz, rock and roll, classical. So to keep my chops up in all those different respects.
When he was just 13 years old, Jeff performed with the Colorado Symphony Orchestra for their annual Martin Luther King Jr. celebration.
You know, when I first played the MLK performance, I was incredibly nervous. I had a dressing room, and I was totally just enamored with Betcher and backstage, and I just gave my heart and soul into the performance, and it went really well.
Now, 15 years later, he's preparing to do it again, this time in his own unique style.
It's a collage of everything that I've ever loved and that's come before me, and stuff that's current right now, things that I'm listening to. It all influences me.
In a few minutes, we'll see how this performance is reuniting Jeff with something more than the Colorado Symphony. It's bringing him back to his former teacher, CSO Principal Violist Basil Van Dries, the man who gave him the nickname Maestro.
You know, I had a teacher in high school, and he actually is the principal violist for the CSO, and his name's Basil Van Dries, and he would always tease me and call me Maestro.
And I would always open up the door, and he would be sitting on a bench outside, and I would open up the door, and I would look at him, and I'd say, "Maestro, it's your turn."
Maestro, did you practice this week? You know, Maestro, let's hear that scale again. You know,
it sort of resonated with him, apparently, because he came back to it quite a number of years later, and now uses it as his nickname.
Hey, Basil.
Hey, dude.
Good to see you.
How are you? Good to see you, too.
How are you?
Basil Van Dries has performed with orchestras across the country and for audiences around the world. Now, as his former student prepares for his featured performance with the Colorado Symphony, he's stopping by for a visit.
You want to try it?
And as any good teacher would, he's brought a test, a duet.
All right, so shall we give it a try?
Let's see what we got.
Okay. That sounds really cool. I need to. This is fun, Basil, doing this.
One of the greatest things that you can do as a young person in the arts is have the ability to blaze your own trail. I think he realized that there was I don't want to say a void, but there was a space in the world of music for something novel, and he's good at it, and he put himself out there, and people have been listening to him, and it is the greatest treat, I must say.
Classical music isn't going anywhere, and so I think that people will continue to use classical music for new and current purposes.
We'll catch up with Jeff in a few minutes for his performance at the Martin Luther King Jr. Day concert at Betcher Concert Hall with the Colorado Symphony Orchestra. Backstage at Betcher Concert Hall, in the very same dressing room he used as a 13-year-old, Maestro Hughes is getting ready for his featured performance.
I started out playing at Betcher, playing classical music at the age of 14 with the orchestra, and I was so nervous. I remember it was just kind of, I almost blacked out and was on autopilot Fortunately, my mother had had me practice so much that I didn't really need to think.
Warmed up and tuned, the Maestro is ready to take the stage at the Colorado Symphony's Martin Luther King Jr. concert.
Music always helps people to get through adversity. You know, people have songs that relate to certain emotions and to certain feelings, and so in the Civil Rights era, you know, all the spirituals and the different music that help those people to fight. It helps people to have camaraderie with each other, as well as to, you know, be able to unite and to be able to feel good about something so that they don't, you know, the struggle is not as difficult.